Okay, welcome to fourth quarter. We're back from spring. And the plan is we're going to finish up the plant unit in the next couple weeks, and then unit 13 is animals, like invertebrates and vertebrates, and then after that's human body systems, then we're done. So let's get started. This is in the packet that you already have, the one we were working on before break. I posted it on Google Classroom too a while ago. Okay, so this section is on roots, stems, and leaves. So roots. The function of a root is to absorb water and the nutrients and to hold the plant in place. It also prevents erosion or the soil eroding around it. There's two types of roots. One is a tap root, which is the long, thick primary root. That's common in dicots. So this is a picture of a taproot right here, letter B. So, you know, the example you can probably always think of is a carrot. Fibrous root are the other types of roots that branch out. They're shallow. They don't have one single root. This is a common type of root in monocot, and an example would be corn or like a flower. Okay, so again, just this picture of taproot versus a fibrous root. In terms of root structure, you have the epidermis, which is like the outer layer. Your ground tissue is the middle layer, and then vascular tissue is the innermost layer. So in your diagram, in your notes, you're going to be labeling the epidermis. These three things make up the ground tissue, and these two things make up the vascular tissue, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, the root cap is the tough covering that protects the cells at the root tip. This is where mitosis occurs. Do you guys remember that lab we did that had the onion cell and we had to count like all of these are in prophase, all of these are in metaphase, and you had to count like 100 of them? We were looking at the root cap where the mitosis occurs. Differentiation is the process by which unspecialized cells become specialized in structure and function. And that would obviously need to be protected so it could grow. Okay, root function is the uptake of nutrients from the soil. All right, now move over to page 9. It requires nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, and also some trace elements of other things. It also needs to take in water to concentrate minerals inside the cells, and then water follows by osmosis, which we talked about is a type of passive transport earlier in the year. Okay, so stem function is next. So stem function supports the system. It's the support system for the plant's body. It transports nutrients. It helps defend against predators and disease. The range can be from a few millimeters tall to 100 meters tall. Plant stem tissue is similar. It has dermal tissue, which is the epidermis, just like in the root. The ground tissue is still this inner layer. And then xylem and phloem are your vascular tissue. Okay, the dermal tissue is the outer covering. It covers the epidermal cells. Cuticle is the thick, waxy covering that protects against water loss and injury. You know, if you guys see a plant and you're like, oh, I wonder if it's fake, and you rub it to see if it feels right, the cuticle is what you're feeling. Trichome is the epidermal cell projection that's used for protection. And then this I'll post. It's a TED Ed. It's pretty interesting, but the sound quality is not good if I play it here. So trichomes could look like this, like prickers, basically. Okay, vascular tissue transports water and nutrients. The xylem is the water conducting tissue. Phloem is the food conducting tissue. So we're going to talk about those tissues in particular, and then we'll stop when we get to how water actually flows. Okay, so there's two different parts that you should know. The tracheid is the long, narrow cell with walls that are impermeable to water, which means water can't get through. They have openings that connect cells to each other. And then they have a vessel element, which is a type of xylem cell found in angiosperms. Remember, angiosperms are basically flowers. The stack of vessels becomes a continuous tube when the cell dies. I don't think this is something you would need to know for the regents, but now that you're not taking it for the final or whatever. Okay. So this is just a picture of the vascular tissue. Okay, moving on, you have phloem, which has sieve tube elements. These are the main phloem cells. They're arranged end to end to form tubes, and end walls have small holes through which material can pass. They also have companion cells, which hold the nuclei and organelles, and they support the sieve tube elements. Okay, so we're going to stop there, I think, and we'll pick up tomorrow, finishing the stem. Let me see. Yeah, finishing up the stem, and then we'll do leaves the next day. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later.